Wow, now that's interesting. I'm not showing any connection on my music on Spreaker, and yet the voice is coming in fine on Spreaker. How bizarre is that? And the answer is that's pretty damn bizarre. So Spreaker apparently has my voice, but it doesn't have the music and it doesn't have the background. So what the hell is going on with that? Well, let's go to chat. When you have a problem, go to chat, see if anybody is listening. Whiskey Dale says there's no music. Okay. Now I got to figure out why there's no music. He can hear me. No music. Mary Brockman. Oh my God. Now, why is it that I can hear music? I can hear my intro. I have done nothing different. Because I know that if I do this, man, that's weird. Okay. Once again, the techno gods apparently are screwing me. So if this is true and I can't get a phone call in, if this input is not working, then I'm not going to be able to talk to folks. And how incredibly sad is that? So what line haven't I pushed? How about this? Am I getting anything now? All right, well, Jersey Joe's in chat, Mary Brockman's in chat, Whiskey Dale's in chat. And apparently you guys can hear my voice, but you cannot hear. Yeah, try playing another soundbite. Okay, all right. Let's see, can you guys hear this? Happy stories and good times. Could you hear that? Please tell me yes, because if you didn't, then I don't really have a show tonight. And Dan Butcher says he's trying to call in, but he can't get through. So wonderful. Thanks. Again, it's probably a button that I should have pushed, but I haven't. So what is going on? I've got the mic up. I've got mic 5 line up. I've got a green button on that. I've got that up. PC USB. Okay. Let me try this one more time to see if I have happy stories. Nope. All right. Well, that effectively kills my damn show right there. How disappointed am I in that? I have this actually plugged in to the right port because I can hear it myself. And so there's got to be something again in the computer that isn't working. I cannot tell you how unhappy I am to hear this, to not hear this, I should say. Stereo, let's see if I've got this up. Auto tracking. Well, there's, okay. I hate to do this when I've got everything up and ready to go. This is incredibly frustrating. And I've got all the situations plundered just as I should. I've got the volume up on the PC. So I know I've got an output. I know it's into the board. And I've got the line up. And the funny thing is, I can hear the input on my headphones, and apparently you guys can hear absolutely nothing. Yeah, Mary Brockman would just as unhappy too. And Mike says I'm a techno-Luddite. Yeah. Whiskey Dale says I need to hire a 12-year-old producer. If only I had a producer. Now the question is, Sean, though he's not here, has gone into the computer and changed some things around. And he can go in and find it immediately, and I'm sure it's a button. Nothing, I have not changed a damn thing on this. So I've got no Dan. And Barry Brockman says, put your headphone by the mic. Now that's actually funny. That's actually very funny. The problem with that is I'm afraid that I'm going to have to kill all of this. Sean is at work. BZ is in the studio. I've got YouTube up. I've got Facebook up. And the funny, okay, here's a funny thing, Dan. I called into, because every time I do this, I called into Skype myself on my cell phone, and it rang, and I answered it. And Dan says it rings a couple of times, and it hangs up. And Mike says, I can hear you, but you sound like you're in a tunnel. Well, occasionally I suppose I am in a tunnel. In any event, folks, I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap it up for tonight because I am not sufficiently cognizant to fix this. All I can say is someone came in and did something to the system. And that, by the way, that was the quintessential Jersey Joe. Because if you ever listen to Jersey Joe, when he takes a pause between topics, you can hear Jersey Joe go. And with that, I cannot think of another thing that I need to do. I've got the queue up, that up, the PC USB. I've got the line. Let's try that. And see, okay, one more thing. I'm going to try one more thing to see if I get any kind of a registration. And my best choice, my best way of seeing that is by Spreaker. So let's hit one more thing and see if I come through. And the answer is no, there's nothing coming through. All right, it is with great sadness. Yeah, I have to be good for Thursday because I've got another interview coming in on Thursday. It could potentially be a 2-hour interview. So if this system doesn't work, well, guess what? If nothing else, let me say this. I've been working on some promos. I've got new promos. We've got a new Sackheads promo. Jenny sent me a message, says, sounds good on YouTube. The only problem is, Jenny, that I have to ask you when I play music and I play cuts, can you hear it on YouTube? Because I can't tell. Now, I'm looking at Spreaker. When I record this, I'm looking at Spreaker, and I can look at the board, and I can see that there's input on the board. So I can tell that there's something going in terms of the microphone itself. But when I hit something, and let me kill these and that. When I hit something like a cut here, I'm waiting to see. No, and there's nothing. I know this is playing. So I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, that we're going to have to wrap this up. This is one of the shortest shows I've ever had. My grand apologies to everyone. I'm going to make a phone call to Sean. I'm going to see if he can walk me through it. But in the meantime, this makes for terrible radio. The only thing I can suggest is I'm going to have to kill everything. If I can get something to work, I may be able to start Spreaker again. But then actually that's immaterial, because if I can't get the rest of the stuff to work, then Dan can't call in, Kari Baxter Donovan can't call in, and I can't play the audio cuts that I have for everyone here. So I'm afraid that it's going to have to be a cut and a wrap, so to speak. And Jenny says, I've not heard music or any kind of a cut, so what that tells me is it's not audible on YouTube or Facebook either, which means that for whatever reason something is not coming into the board itself, because I know that it's on output and I can hear it in my headphones when I play it. So my guess is, you don't know, but there's the Spreaker, the brand new laptop that I bought for SHR, and it's right in front of me. It's where the video comes from. And there are settings in here that either someone is going in here and fucking with, or when you boot these things up, somehow it resets to some kind of a default. And it's extremely irritating. So again, folks, my apologies to everyone. All I can say is, yeah, Mary, I'm sorry. My apologies. Yeah, due to technical difficulties, the Bobcat Saloon is going to have to wrap it up. Yeah, pot up the channel. I've tried doing that because, see, the other thing is, Whiskey, I can see, when I have input, I can see it on the lights on the board, and then I can see it through the registration on Spreaker. And I've got that right in front of me. And so I can tell that the vocals are fine, because I'm getting registration on both the board itself and Spreaker, and nothing else, because unfortunately the way this thing runs, I run the audio cuts, and when folks call in, because we don't have a separate phone system yet, when folks call in, it all goes over the same channel, so to speak. And Mike says, let's hope Sackheads will be good. Well, yeah. Well, let me cut to the chase. That's it. I'm going to be making a call to Sean, and I believe that's it. My grand apologies again. I'm sure that prior to Sackheads tomorrow, Sean will get here about 7 o'clock, because he gets here about as early as I do these days. We can sit down, go through the computer, and find out what's going on. It's a matter of probably a button that hasn't been clicked. And Dan, I'm incredibly sorry. So my apologies to everyone. Folks, I'm going to have to sign off and come back to the SHR Media Network tomorrow. This is incredibly, incredibly embarrassing. Come in and listen to Sackheads tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. I'll not deny them their due. And also, well, I may as well promote this. I'll be on the Jeff Dunnett's show tomorrow with Jeff. And I'll be on the Big Sarge show on Saturday. I'll have a time and a date for you when I come back on Thursday. So cross your fingers for Sackheads. I'm sure Sackheads will be fine, because Sean knows what the hell is going on. There is no consolation. There is no joy in Mudville. Mighty Casey has struck out. Good night.